Hey there guys, welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Today is Monday, April the 30th, 2012, and I can hardly believe we're already coming on to the 5th month of the year. Time has just been flying by, and certainly we got a lot of stuff coming up for tomorrow. But as for today, first of all, I'm sure most of you have already figured out by now that I didn't manage to make the trip to Montreal that I was planning on going there this weekend to cover a lot of the protests and rallies that were taking place there in Montreal. But there were a number of factors that had to come together in order for this trip to be possible for us to go. And we just couldn't get some of those things together. So unfortunately, we weren't able to make it there. But having said that, I had a lot of people offer up a place for me to stay, which I'm incredibly grateful for. It's truly amazing and a pretty cool thing that I can just put it out there on my Facebook status and mention that I want to come cover the event in Montreal. And right away, I got emails from 4 different people offering up a place to stay. These are complete strangers who have just said, my house is your house. You're certainly welcome here if you want to come. And as I said, I'm incredibly grateful for that. It's truly humanity at its best when people can just, total strangers, opening up their home to me and offering me a place to stay because they want to help me to do this work that I'm doing. And it's a beautiful thing. But unfortunately, as I said, a number of other factors had to come together before the trip would be possible. And we just couldn't quite get it together. So unfortunately, we didn't get down there. Now, on the other hand, having said that, while I was talking to a lot of these people in Montreal trying to set this up, I made a lot of connections, and a lot of people have been sending me a lot of clips anyways, a lot of clips and pictures and a lot of information, keeping me up to date about what's going on over there. And this weekend, there was a lot going on once again. It's never a dull moment now in Montreal. And take a look at this picture that somebody recently sent me. This is a photo of a drone type aircraft that has cameras attached to it. This photo was taken in downtown Montreal, where this drone was apparently hovering around following the groups of protesters and kind of keeping an eye on where these groups were marching. And somebody sent me that photo. I thought that was certainly interesting to see. And I got a lot of other clips sent to me as well. Some very troubling clips of some things that took place over the weekend, which I'll put in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. There was one incident where there were a group of protesters who were arguing with a taxi driver, a cab driver. They got into an argument. I don't know what the situation is, but judging by the footage, it looks like some people kind of were kicking the car, and this taxi driver tried to get away from the situation and ended up running over one of the protesters and peeling out of there and just taking off. So it was a pretty nasty hit and run. Certainly things are dangerous out there. And I got another clip sent to me, which I'll put in the description if you want to check it out, of just a horrific looking piece of footage where some plainclothes officers in an unmarked police van would pull up quickly to a group of protesters and just snatch one of them. And it looks like a kidnapping or something, where they just, plainclothes people hop out of a van and just grab this kid, throw him in, and peel away. We saw things like that here in Toronto during the G20 summit. I have clips of similar situations happening in my film Into the Fire. And I was just sent a clip this weekend of that exact scenario happened in Montreal this weekend. So it is unfortunate we weren't able to be there on the scene to document these things, but a lot of people have been sharing what they've been documenting with me, and I will continue to pass that information on to you guys as it comes around. But as for here and Toronto and Montreal for that matter, tomorrow is going to be a huge day of protest. In fact, not just Toronto and Montreal, but all over the world tomorrow. The Occupy movement is set to reemerge, and they've chosen May Day, May 1st, to be the day that they want to do that. And you know, I'm really still kind of on the fence with this whole Occupy movement thing. There's so many things about it that are really good. Millions of people getting out into the streets and saying, we've had enough, we're mad as hell, and we're not going to take it anymore, to quote the scene from The Network. Just to see people getting active and getting out in the streets is certainly a beautiful thing. However, there's so many things that are tagged along with this movement that are very troubling. The whole foundation of the thing and how it just popped up in cities all over the world was very questionable. A lot of the main organizers and even some people I personally met seem very questionable to me. A lot of the funding that is money that is flowing into this movement, in particular in Wall Street, some of the sources of this funding is certainly very, very questionable. And a large part of the thing I'm noticing with this movement is that there's so many people within the movement who are suggesting that capitalism is the issue and are trying to steer things into a direction leading towards more socialism or even downright communism. And I've been saying for a long time that capitalism isn't the issue, and certainly socialism or communism is not going to be the answer to whatever problems capitalism poses. As I've been saying for a long time, I don't feel that it's the 99% versus the 1%. It's not the 1% you have to worry about. The 1% is guys who were very successful and worked very, very hard all their lives and became CEOs of their own companies and make are millionaires and worked very hard at it and good for them. I don't think that they are the ones that we ought to be going after and calling for more taxes on them and so forth. That's not going to accomplish anything. I'm more of the opinion that it's the 99.99% against the 0.001%. If you truly want to expose the corruption and the people who are responsible for a lot of the things going on in the world, for bankrupting nations, for starving third world countries, you got to look to families like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, for example, not your average suit on Wall Street. So no doubt today is going to be a huge day of action, and no doubt it's also interesting that they chose May Day, recognized communist anniversary or a day to celebrate communism in many parts of the world, and so many other things about May Day as well. Of course, the Illuminati was founded on May 1st, 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. That was the day that he chose to be the very first day to start his organization. So you know, it's interesting that they choose this day to celebrate communism, the first day the Illuminati started. It was a year ago today or tomorrow rather, that Osama bin Laden was apparently so-called killed in that raid in Pakistan. Was also on May Day, May 1st. And so no doubt it's going to be a very interesting day tomorrow in Montreal, in Toronto, and cities all over the world. So we are going to be documenting everything all day tomorrow. I'll be out on the streets filming all day. So I'll try my best. I'll get my daily video up tomorrow. I'll shoot some video from some of the stuff that's going on in the streets to give you a little taste of some of the things that happen tomorrow. But I won't be able to get that up and online until the evening. And then Wednesday I'll be editing with Steve all day to get whatever footage we capture from tomorrow put together so we can get it out there and show the world, put it on YouTube. So for the next 2 days, I'm going to be filming and editing all day long. But I'll keep you guys up to date with the daily videos. But they might not be available until the evening when I get a chance to get back home and upload them. So anyways, guys, that is it for today. And again, big couple days coming up, so be sure to tune back in. And other than that, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow. Okay, take care.